humorous now, both at Venice and in Toronto, to hear Tom talk about the film and that he has been working on it, or he read the script, I think 7 years ago, and how, of course, then, he never mentioned any names, but he said it was quite tough to gather finance for this film and this story, and a lot of people said it's a very difficult film to get made, and maybe not the topic of the time. And just to see the difference when we shot it just a bit over a year ago, and to see the change, the positive change that has happened in media, and the awareness about this subject and what Lily in our story goes through has been quite extraordinary. I heard about this film, how it had been trying to get made for a long time. I even had friends who were on the previous rounds many years ago, and I remember it was not until, I think it was 1.5 years ago, I sat on the tube in London and I read about the fact that Tom Hooper and Eddie Redmayne, they announced that they were going to try and finally get this story told, and I thought, wow, that is quite an incredible casting, and I was really looking forward to seeing that film. And then my agent called me, I think it was 2 days literally after that, and said, oh, there's actually I knew that it was the Lily story when it came to what I had heard about this film. She said, no, it's a second very good female role in it. You should really even just see, he's probably one of the most humble and sweet and wonderful people that I've ever met. And just the fact, I know that he was, while we were filming, he actually, I think he jumped on a flight just before Oscars even, went straight to LA. But then, of course, he came back on Tuesday morning, straight from the airport, back to his trailer. And he did one of the most, well, for him, I know, difficult scenes in the film, straight off his plane, which was extremely admirable. And that just shows how he was so dedicated, especially with the theory of everything, but also that thing that his work is what means the most to him. And he was able to kind of, impressively kind of switch that side of his brain off and just be 100% in this role. And intimidating thing is sometimes how different it is to actually probably work on a film set or and a theatre to come in and try and do a casting or a reading. And I was extremely nervous, and I was there for the second time to meet Tom, but it was almost my first chemistry reading with Eddie. And I knew, like with your question, this film is all about the strong relationship between those people. So of course you want that to work and the chemistry to be there. I was, I guess, a bit lucky that a few months earlier I had met Eddie at the presenting award at the BAFTAs 2 months earlier. And we were both so nervous, and we hadn't met each other, so we actually met backstage. And I think even I saw a friend had a photo of us. We were like holding hands, like this. Do you know what you're saying? I don't know what I'm saying. And we both found out it was actually going to be a TV kind of having the lines set up there for us, and that even made us probably more nervous. But we kind of, through those seconds, probably bonded quite well because we were quite openly just emotionally naked towards one another. So when I stepped in that room and met him, it felt like we had just, I don't know, had a little first try of knowing how to find some sort of good working relationship. And I came in there and he just had his arms open and made me feel very safe and relaxed, and he really pushes you to try new things, and also set it up for me to give him the same impulses, and I think that's where
And I heard when you auditioned for this role, Tom Hoover, who'd been with us for a long time, was in tears.
Well, I didn't know because he sat like this. So I just thought, oh shit. Because he didn't say anything.
He was really weepy. Knowing he found his servant.
Well, I mean, it's coming back to how awkward sometimes those readings and castings are. Both him and Eddie really made it very. They told me when I walked into the room that we actually just going to start with having like an hour of just sitting down and talk about this film, talk about what we wanted trying to do, and he really set up the possibility for both me and Eddie, especially me in that position, I guess, with the camera in front of my face and being very nervous, but to really try and go for it. And I don't think I've had many readings when I've been given that. People, if I'm ever at a dinner party and someone mentioned the word Pictionary, I probably, hide under the table. Because I am one of those people who have continued to draw a circle and just point at it.
That's already a game for me too,
well, the amazing thing doing films is sometimes, of course, the chance of getting to try and do things that I would probably never put myself in real life to try out. So to be able to meet some really incredible artists who came on set and helped me to do some of the prep they set up. I think I had about 2-3 weeks when I did some painting classes, and I remember I came in and she said, "Oh, that's fine, you don't have to be nervous, we just start with some easy exercises, and it's nothing to be worried about." And then I walked around the corner and I just saw this big white blank canvas, and she gave me a piece of charcoal and said, "You can just start." Those few scenes in the film. She was like, it's all about the confidence in the way you move your hand. And I stood there shaking, but yes, she said, you have 3 minutes to draw Lily now.
Oh.
And you can't move the charcoal off the paper. I'm sad I don't have my iPhone here, but I actually do have still a photograph.
They don't have numbers that you can follow.
I mean, yeah, no, it looks. Yeah, I don't know what it looks like. I know what it is.
But it's such an important part of the story, and at different points in the story about how the paintings sort of like represent the relationship.
Yeah, that and with any art, I think that as an artist, you know that it kind of, your subconscious kind of comes through in your art. And I loved how it was kind of obvious when I went back and looked at the paintings and the art that she did throughout the years, that it really did change. And it's amazing that she kind of, in a way, I love how Tom decided to kind of make Gerda be the one who almost is the one that sees Lily for the first time, that her subconscious kind of appears, and she finds the true Lily within her art and within her painting, and that also opens up the realm of history, and the Lily paintings really became a big success in France. I even know now that they're having a big exhibition of them in Copenhagen in a few weeks. It's lovely to see that this one has kind of brought back some light on the human aspect, that for each film, every creation and the way you work becomes so different. And each director that I've been working with has kind of created a new universe, a new way of working. So that's very different. But I would say that the essential things which I kind of touched in what I felt during the reading with Tom is that thing of feeling secure, to feel like I have somebody who I feel gives me trust and that I can feel safe. And I think, even though it's really difficult sometimes, but I know when I can see my work or when I feel it in certain takes, it's that thing of knowing that you can do mistakes, you can push yourself. You have a director who gives you small indications, small little almost keys to opening new doors, to try new things, and you know that you're safe to just go all the way, and maybe it won't work, and you can all look at each other and say, okay, we tried that, and then you can move on. And I think that's the essence that really does it for me, because I think you can do all the preparation. I love to do a lot of preparation. I love to put that whole on my rucksack, but when it actually comes on set, that preparation is there as a foundation. But then it's all about daring to just let go completely and know that it doesn't work, it's all good. But when you dare to do that,